Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and in this video you will see my interview with Sunny Liu, who is the CEO and the co-founder of Vechain. But before you watch the interview, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Vechain and a little bit about him. The first thing is that you can go and check out, if you want to find out more information on Vechain, you can go to Vechain, that's VECHAIN.org, okay? And I wanted to show you a couple of things about the people involved. The first thing is I want to show you about Sunny Liu himself. But if you go down to the bottom of the page, the steering committee, Sunny Liu is there's a difference between Vechain.org and Vechain, the company. So Sunny Liu is the CEO of Vechain, the company. You're looking at Vechain.org and it tells you everything about Vechain, period. So Sunny Liu, this is the guy I interviewed, very nice guy, very personable guy. You can see why they chose him, or I don't know if he was chosen or if he chose himself, but you can see why he's been very effective with this company. He's got the personality for it. This is a guy who's got a can-do attitude, very optimistic and enthusiastic type guy, and you'll see that in the interview. But I wanted to also draw your attention, but before I get off Sunny Liu, I want to show you this is his resume. Co-founder, CEO of Vechain. He worked with Louis Vuitton in China for 5 years, IT manager at Biscardi China, IT infrastructure manager, 3M China, GNC manager, Netstar, and then his education is that he was Shanghai, I'm going to butcher this, Shanghai Jiao Tong University. He's a bachelor in electronics and communication engineering. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like he has to be smart to get one of those. Okay, now let's go back to their website. This is Sunny Liu. I wanted to bring your attention to something. This is their advisory board. Jim Breyer is an investor, okay? He's a venture capitalist, founder and CEO, Breyer Capital. And I wanted to this has to do with this interview. Jim Breyer, I remembered his name from a while back because I've talked about him in relation to how he's an investor in Ripple. But I also talked about him about this article right here. And this has to do with the interview with Sunny Liu. Billionaire investor Jim Breyer drops Ethereum in crypto portfolio shakeup. Jim Breyer, CEO and founder of investment and venture firm Breyer Capital, has removed Ethereum from his investment portfolio. He's a well-known angel investor of crypto platforms such as Vechain, Circle, and Ethereum. But now and I remember talking about this, and he said in here, as I recall, that last month, Buterin, they were talking about Ethereum 2.0. The reason Breyer moved on from Ethereum is unknown, but traders on Reddit speculate Breyer may have grown tired of waiting for Ethereum's widely anticipated upgrade, Ethereum 2.0. Well, I asked Sunny Liu in this interview about it, and you're going to find it interesting. My personal opinion is that Ethereum is the proof of work thing. That's why they're moving on to Ethereum 2.0. And what kind of an opportunity does that provide for the Vechains of the world in terms of becoming the next Ethereum? That is a very exciting concept to me, because it's very clear to me that this Ethereum 2.0 thing is not figured out yet. But here's the other thing I wanted to bring your attention. Jim Breyer, who is that same guy, he's an investor in Vechain, dropped Ethereum. He's also one of the guys that helped to, who's on this team, IDG Capital, pulling up the team, IDG Capital. Here's Jim Breyer, all right? And you may not remember, but in their portfolio, if you scroll down, IDG Capital, this is an investment wing out of China. You can see all these Chinese companies, but they're also an investor in Coinbase. And what do you know? Ripple. So, against that backdrop, and I wanted to show you one final thing. This is a picture of just to give you an idea of, this is not just some jackleg. Sunny Liu's like a big deal. This is him with the Italian Prime Minister, and I think he mentions this meeting in the interview. He also mentions a meeting with the what are they called over there in China? I can't remember if it's the Prime Minister of China. I don't remember what they referred to their main guy as, but anyway, he referred to that as well. I think you're going to find the interview very interesting. I thought it was very interesting, and he's such a great guy, nice person. So here you go, and then I will be back. Thanks for listening. Okay, today, as I promised you all, I have Sunny Liu, the CEO and co-founder of Vechain. Now, Sunny, before I start asking you questions, I wanted to let you know kind of about my audience. I am one of the people who has talked about Ripple and XRP a lot for the last over 2 years since I started this YouTube channel. That is the core. Most of the people listening are very into Ripple and XRP. Those are some of the guys, as you know, that started this whole ball rolling, I guess, after Bitcoin. But what has happened over the course of time is that my audience, I start seeing a thing here and a thing there about Vechain and more. And your Vechain is one of the most popular things inside of XRP Twitter, I guess I would call it. It's one of the most popular digital assets that I see people passing around and talking about. And it's, I would say that a lot of people are a little bit confused because it's supply chain. It's a little more complicated than some other digital assets. And so I was going to give it to you. I was going to kind of ask you to just first give your elevator speech about what Vechain is, and then kind of say, and I want to know in conjunction with that, why did you not use proof of work when you created the Vechain token? So your elevator speech and that.
Sure. Thank you for that. Well, Vechain is a public blockchain platform, and with also the smart contracts and virtual machine are able to, generate or building up the multiple different blockchain applications on top of it. And the reason for the POW not has been used, actually, we have been thinking through a lot, more than just the consensus part. But if we talk about the POW, actually, for sure, proof of work, it was the first one. First, the consensus has been used in Bitcoin and also the others. But also we can see the defects or the disadvantages about the POWs, like wasting the energy, and also, the mining power or hashing power has been growing lately because just economic motivations, while you don't have to have that kind of the hashing power. So if we look at the root cause, why you need the consensus, which is actually to secure the network. So we wanted to find a balance, like we don't need that kind of, whatever the energy or the electricity or the machines to secure the network, but also, maintain the security of the entire network. So, and best the case also, you got to take care about the cost, because eventually the people who are building application or using the blockchain every day got to take care about the cost. Honestly, if you're looking at right now, the Bitcoin fees, payment fees, it's pretty high. It's kind of like, deviated from the original design or original thinking of Bitcoin, the white paper in 2008. So anyway, we choose a unique consensus is called proof of authority, which can find a balance, not using too much energy, cost, but also, maintain the security of the network. Right.
Hey, Sonny, I've got a question, and this has nothing to do with Vechain, but this is the kind of stuff that I run into on my channel all the time, these technological problems. So I'm showing right now, I'm showing in the top right corner of my screen, and I'm recording. Right. See, this is the beauty of my interviews. You get to help me solve problems. So I'm showing in the top right corner of my screen, and you're showing kind of behind that. So if I'm recording right now, is it recording that way? Do I need to flip something, or do you know?
I think right now it's pretty good for me. I
You know
can
what?
see like
Hey,
two of us.
I just learned something. I grabbed it with my finger and I moved it over, and so now it's perfect. I think we just
All right,
learned something.
okay.
I was afraid I was going to record the whole interview with you covered up halfway. But, hey,
Well, that's fine. As long as we're talking.
Yeah, that would be normal on this channel. People are used to it, trust me. Okay, so here's the question then, based on what you're saying. The proof of work, there's really a couple of questions there. The companies that you guys want to work with, are they against working with anything that would be like Vechain but proof of work? That presents a problem for them, does it not?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's a problem, but it's just like a better consensus or better, mechanism to attract the different enterprise users. But I give an example. When we work with some like big enterprises or big companies, like DNVGL, they're a nonprofit organization, and one of the major services focus on the sustainability, right? And when you talk about the proof of work, especially the proof of work situation of Bitcoin or even the current Ethereum, we're talking about like huge amount of energy or power or electricity as being, I won't use like wasted, but it's like overused in a year. So for sure, it's not really environmental friendly. So for those kind of companies, they would definitely not choose proof of work, that kind of platform, because it's kind of against, they vision where they go, how to protect the planet.
And it politically would not look good for a lot of companies either, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So against that backdrop, is it possible that Vechain takes the place of Ethereum?
That's a tricky question. But luckily, we had an answer. In last year, I think it's September or October, there was one of the biggest Wanxiang blockchain convention, international convention in Shanghai in place. Well, thank God that was like before the coronavirus, so people can really fly in, getting together and having meetings. So during that session, the global CTO of blockchain labs from Deloitte was there doing the speech, and Antonio showed a big screen on the stage, like they make the decision to migrate their business applications, not only for themselves, but also for their clients from Ethereum to Vechain because of several different reasons. And for sure, like I was pretty happy, especially for some like professional service from a service provider like Deloitte to make that kind of the comments will make that kind of the announcement, right? And more importantly, PwC, like PricewaterhouseCoopers, as kind of like the biggest competitor of Deloitte, is my shareholder, is my investor also. And so I would say if the global CTO of blockchain labs of Deloitte make that kind of comment, it's very objective, I would say. So for sure, there were many reasons for Antonio, for Deloitte to make that kind of decision. But I would say in summary, Vechain is more enterprise friendly. That's our mission. That's our vision, actually. When we try to build Vechain, and we aiming to make it friendly to enterprise use cases, to enterprise adoptions, because we believe, this is a way for any new technology goes to mass adoptions or try to bring benefits to everyone in the world. It has to be done by a professional team, and most likely are by, enterprises.
Right. So all right, let's play a game. Let's play a game, Sonny. This is a good one. You're gonna like this. So I am the CEO of Walmart worldwide, and I'm trying to make a decision, Sonny. I got Ethereum over here, and I got Vechain over here, and I need to make a decision. This is the sales pitch of sales pitches, Sonny. Why do I go with Vechain? All
right. Well, that's pretty easy. I have done like several times to different CEOs, actually. Okay, so very simply, if you are the CEO of Walmart or whatever, any big enterprise in the world, I bet you to know enterprise care about solution other than just technology, because you care about if the technology can help your business or can bring the new value to your business, whatever increase your sales or improve the efficiency or lower your costs. That's any technology should do, and blockchain is no different. So why Vechain? Because from the beginning, Vechain is listening from different enterprise executives. We have done something like no one ever did before. We interview 40, 50 different executives from those, Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, ask them like, what do you need if you wanted to use blockchain technology? And based on the summary, based on the feedback, we summarize and we deliver the different features or technical specs for Vechain to answer those barriers, to make sure it's friendly for any enterprise to build application like super easily. And by the way, if you're a global CEO of Walmart, I can give you some numbers. Honestly, everybody know, like, IBM have done Hyperledger for Food Trust for Walmart US. I'm sure you know that already. And it kind of take like more than 10 months to finish that. So when we start to work on the project in Walmart China with PwC, which is a very important partner and contributor as well, because we make that project not only technical, but also, from business perspective, with some business consultant services to help you to transform the technology value to a business value. So when PwC start to, work on the project, and we estimate, okay, we might need 9 months to deliver based on, the historical case in the market. But in the end, in 2019, we only spent 3 months to deliver whatever Walmart China is doing, and they're quite happy. And in 2020, even considering about the coronavirus situation, we only spent 3 weeks to deliver the implementation for Sam's Club. So, you can see why Vechain, because it's more cost effective, less lead time, and more satisfaction from any kind of enterprise users. So just do it.
I wasn't even gonna ask this question, but I just realized I haven't done it. I own some Vechain. How long, if I send Vechain from one exchange to the next and the exchanges don't get in the way, how long does it take? Does Vechain move fast in that way?
Oh yeah, like I mean, usually the confirmation time is like seconds. No more than 10, usually 7-6 seconds, but no more than 10 seconds.
Well, that's better than proof of work, big time. Okay. Well, here's another thing that this is one of the things people have a hard time getting their mind around. And this was one of my challenges with Vechain. Okay. So you got these partners like Walmart, Deloitte, and BMW. And the question I always had is do those companies have to buy the Vechain token to use Vechain?
Well, the answer is straightforward. Yes, they have to go for that, because as long as they wanted to run the smart contracts, they gotta somehow to use the token to pay for the gas price. And in the end, they have to use the token to pay for the cost to use the blockchain platform entirely. On the other hand, considering about the current, let's say, global situation in terms of crypto regulation for crypto tokens or cryptocurrencies, even the blockchain applications, is still missing. Honestly, it's still missing for major big countries. So we have some unique feature we call like fee delegation, to allow the different service provider to help the different company to do this kind of crypto related jobs, which really is the entry for enterprise try to use the blockchain applications. Give an example: if you run a smart contract or multiple different smart contracts for your applications, and you from legal perspective, from accounting rule perspective, you cannot own any kind of cryptocurrency. So you can ask me to be your sponsor to pay for those, whatever the cryptocurrency you need, which I'm a like service provider to you. And we can settle offline or in any kind of other ways, like traditional counter way. So in the end, those companies, when they using the smart contract, they have to pay with tokens. They have to use tokens, but they could ask somebody else to help them to do that. So that's
now here's another question. Before I ask the other part of this question, let me bring you into my world for a minute here, Sonny.
Right.
While one of the most important people in blockchain in the world is speaking to me, I've got my 7-year-old knocking on my door, and do you know why? Because his birthday is in the next couple of days. He's begging me to find out if he can open at least one present before his birthday, and so he's zeroed in on this right now. He has no idea that I'm talking to one of the most important people in blockchain, and he doesn't care. but I think that's a funny part of the current crisis and everything. It's funny because everybody's kind of dealing with that same kind of thing right now. He could walk in here and ask me about something. But anyway, okay, back to this. So with the Vechain token now, the question here is, if they have to buy it, are they able to buy it over the counter so that it doesn't cause the price to go up, or are they buying on a regular exchange? How does that work?
Well, honestly, any way they want to, they get the tokens, or they let's say to have like a professional service provider to pay for that, and they can settle with normal contracts or normal fiat payments offline or in the other way. But the goal is we don't want that kind of, let's say like one shot or even regularly, that kind of a buying action to impact the price of the token, which we don't want to see that. So eventually we want to see like the token has, the real value of the token has revealed to everyone, and eventually, push up the price of the token, that's it. But we don't want to like this one single action to use that token kind of impact the price. That's
right. You're just saying overall adoption over time is going to cause this price to go up.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leads into the next thing, which is, what do you see as your biggest hurdles? Regulation, industry adoption, usage. What are the biggest hurdles facing Vechain right now?
Well, honestly, we have been facing the different hurdles in the past few years, different stage. We facing the different challenges. For example, in 2016, when we get started, no one ever understand what blockchain is. I still remember I walked into Mr. Philip Fortunato's office. He was the global CEO of Givenchy, and now he's moving to Richmond Group, actually. So 4 years ago, when I walked into his office, I tried to spend, some time with him to explain to him, okay, what blockchain is. And eventually he said, okay, Sonny, I give up. Just tell me what to do. So I was asking him a favor, like, okay, give me one line of products so I can try something with Givenchy and make it like attractive to you somehow. And he did. He just did my favor and gave me one line of product. I still remember the name is Coinfinity. So we start from there. But honestly, by end of the last year, we covered like 100% of leather goods for Givenchy globally. So they can see the value like step by step. So my point is, I would say in terms of the adoption, hurdles to the adoption, people's like the understanding from the market or the best practice from the market is very important right now. And also like combination of business mindsets and technical mindsets is more important than anything else, honestly. If we look at the market right now, the crypto market or the blockchain market, 90% of people are like technical people. I'm not saying like they're bad. They're actually quite good. They're geniuses. They're talents. They're moving the technology to the next level and next level. But we need to have more people like, with the business mindsets are able to transform the technology to be some kind of business value. And then eventually you can really boom up the blockchain applications, because only the value can be revealed, can be visible and touchable by those business decision makers, and then they will put more money, put more investment into the technology, and combine with they integrate with their business activities and moving to the next level. So I would say the hurdles to the adoptions, the first one is market awareness or market understanding, knowledge about how blockchain can be valuable to the different business, different territories. Secondly is combination of business mindsets and technical mindsets.
Okay. Well, now this is something I'm assuming you guys are coming towards the U.S. Eventually, if not now, and we'll get into that in a second. But one thing, I started investing in crypto back in 2013, and the way it was back then and the way it's been from then until now, really, is I might wake up one day and I read an article that China is going to ban crypto. And so every other day, China's either going to ban it or they're thinking about it or this, but it's been like that ever since I started investing in this. And so a lot of people in the US are paranoid. Well, what's China going to do today? We're hearing that they're creating their own digital currency. The people that listen to me, they're going to want to know, does Vechain have support or relationship or any kind of influence from the Chinese government? Because that's just a barrier to entry for a lot of people. It's something that scares them and they want to think about and find out about.
Well, to be honest, if you ever want to run a business in China, if you want to do something big, you definitely got to maintain the connection with the government. I think it's similar things to everywhere in the world, honestly. I have been traveling around the world, the France, Italy, Germany, Netherlands, US for sure, Singapore, Japan, all over the China as well. So everywhere you gotta maintain some connection with the government, because you need to be aware of the policy. And most of the time, when you are in the leading position, especially whatever you're doing is fitting the strategy of the entire country, and you gotta be an advisor. People won't listen to you. So for example, I remember last year I was in Milan. I was able to meet with Prime Minister of Italy, Conte. We have
I saw pictures.
Yeah, and he might pop up some quick question, like elevator talk, like, okay, what do you think blockchain can do? And for sure you can just, okay, food safety, sustainability, that kind of the questions. And for sure, you can be like that. So in terms of the China, I would say, like I mentioned, we gotta keep very close connections with authorities. And I think there was some misunderstanding for China policies in terms of the cryptos or in terms of the blockchain. Actually, China is not banning the blockchain. Actually, China is very bullish about the blockchain applications. They want to promote the blockchain application or blockchain use cases. Plus, the recent DCEP, digital currency electronic payment, is like a digital RMB issued by the central bank. But they also have, the Chinese government also have very smart way how to mitigate the risk. When we talk about the cryptocurrency, for sure it's innovation, it's like cutting edge technology, but also you can see the risk about money laundering and using in a bad way, even Ponzi game, that kind of the bad things happening. So China has to buy more time to figure out what is the best way to regulate and to mitigate that kind of the risk. Because if you look at China is quite unique in the country, in the world, right? It's like 1.3, 1.4 billion people and all over the place. And think about 1.4 billion people is working on something. You gotta be very careful about that. So so I would say maintain the good connection, and even sometime you can be an advisor to help the government to understand what's going on in the market and go to the right direction, this is the way we should go.
You there now? Let me see. I don't know if that was me or you.
Oh, okay. Where did I miss?
No, it's, for some reason you froze up at some point.
Okay.
But just, it doesn't matter. I'll splice all
right.
of it together. It's
Okay.
it's still recording. I think I don't know what happened, but that's part of doing these videos. Stuff happens.
All right. Maybe I say government too many times.
No, you didn't. No, but I think I get the gist of that. But
Okay.
now let's move to America. So you got the China, the Walmart deal in China. Are there plans to take Walmart to North America? And just in general, are you working with companies in the U.S. and are you heading this way?
Well, actually, Vechain has an international operation like from the beginning. We set up the first overseas office. I mean, other than China, was in Paris, and then Luxembourg, and then Milan, and Singapore, Japan. Actually, in the Bay Area, we have office as well. So I would say Vechain starting the international operation from the beginning, and the U.S. definitely is one of the major markets. We wanted to scale up, we wanted to expand. So we start setting up the U.S. team, a dedicated U.S. team in early 2019, and we spent some time to make our products and solid and easy to scale up. And then we are facing the challenge like everybody is facing, coronavirus. And so right now, unfortunately, I'm sorry to hear the kind of the news every day. U.S. kind of in a struggle phase. I hope everyone can getting better and the whole country can back to normal like very quickly. So I would say right now it's kind of in put on hold mode, but still we are dealing with some big names in U.S. markets. But just, before we're like having a meeting every week and boom, 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 and we're able to sign a deal and go for it, right? But now it's like we're having a meeting and we gotta wait for like a couple of weeks and do more exchanges. So it's just slower than before, I would say.
Well, but one of the things about you're worldwide. And one of the things that I have always wondered about, like Brad Garlinghouse with Ripple, this guy's he's traveling all the time, and you're doing the same thing. Does that cause? I mean, does your wife get? I'm assuming you have a wife, but does your wife get mad at you? I mean, does she ever say, "What? You have to go again?"
Okay, I can give you a number. For last year, my mileage was 400,000 kilometers. Basically, I spent like more than maybe, I don't know, 200 or 250 days out of my home.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. But the good thing is my family is really supporting me, especially my daughter. My daughter now, she's 8 years old, and she has been asking me all the time, like, okay, what's your job is? You having I don't know. I just miss you all the time at home, and what are you really doing? So I spent some time with her, and I try to explain to her like what blockchain is and what blockchain can do. That's a very important lesson actually for me from the entire Vechain team. If I can make an 8-year-old girl understand what the meaning of that, it's I can get any clients in the world, I would say.
Right.
So
well, I can tell.
Yeah. And I show some like, nice lady bags and nice sneakers and even bottle of wine to tell her like, with the blockchain technology, you're able to tell where it's coming from and, all of the story about that. And it kind of tell you how much they saving the planet, contribute to sustainability, that kind of way. And she's like, oh, okay, now I understand. And then she asked me a question actually, like, okay, in one word, what your job really is. So I gotta tell my school teacher to finish my homework. So I told my daughter like, okay, your dad is kind of changing the word. And then she did. She reported that kind of thing to the class, and
That's good.
and her teacher is like, seriously?
Well, let me tell you what, Sonny. Listen, my true gift is
Okay.
my greatest gift is that I can read people. I got this from my father. On my channel, by the way, I give people titles on my channel. My father's known as the official father of the digital asset investor channel. but he gave me the gift. I know how I can read people. And I'm telling you what, I've had 2 conversations with you now, and you may be a very smart, technologically savvy guy, but that's not your true gift, in my opinion. I believe you're a born salesman, and you know how to show the person you're talking to your optimism and your enthusiasm, and it's contagious. And I know.
Wow.
Because
Thank you.
I was raised by a salesman. My dad's like one of those born salesman type. And I'm telling you, it's not just the quality of your product. They better not lose you. I mean, seriously.
Well, I tell my team, no matter what happened, honestly, the entire 2020, I mean, the first half of 2020 was tough for everyone. And we can see lots of companies are in a very critical stages. But I told my team, like, I'm gonna fight to the end until my last drop of blood or something to do Vechain. So don't worry about that part. I will be the last one to stand.
You're familiar with Tim Draper, aren't you?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
With his famous tie.
The Bitcoin tie. I was listening to a Tim Draper video today, and he said that he was talking about how he picks companies to invest in. And he said, he said, if I don't see the optimism in their eyes, he goes, I don't invest in them. Such a smart guy. But I'm going to get him to change that Bitcoin tie. He's going to have an XRP or maybe a Vechain tie before it's over. How about that?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Well, let's get back to Vechain. So,
all right,
what use cases does Vechain have outside of supply chain?
Well, actually, many. Starting from the beginning, we have done the case with Renault. It's an automobile company, and then moving to BMW, and then moving to BYD, the largest EV company in China. Wow, it's kind of like a Tesla, but not that fancy.
Right.
So, and also we have been doing similar case, something like in sustainability, in the food safety, in pharmaceutical company right now. And recently in Cyprus, we have done like a COVID-19 application using the blockchain technology to register people's ID and also the healthcare file to prove like their virus clean, or they have done what kind of the test, what the result to show the proof about that. So actually, Vechain platform is quite universal. Public blockchain platform can do any kind of blockchain applications. But when you say like supply chain, for sure, supply chain is one of the low-hanging fruits. And I would say even like first step to any kind of new applications. I tell you why. Because if we look at big picture, what blockchain can do for the whole world, we can refer to internet. Okay, what internet company does, or what internet to do the work, actually they're providing whatever the functionalities or services or tools to people, so you are able to migrate your offline activities to be online, right? Before you go to a library and searching for something, now we're just typing the computer in a Google and boom, you got loads of results you want to see. It's kind of saving the time and low cost for sure. So when more and more people are doing the activities on the internet, you're contributing the most valuable thing to those internet companies, which is data, right? And the data can generate the new value. So eventually Google, by providing a free searching service, in the end, they become the largest commercial companies. It's so amazing. So I would say blockchain going to do the same. Blockchain is going to migrate the business activities which needs the blockchain, to enhance whatever the security, transparency, immutability, whatever, to be on the blockchain first, and then based on the data on the blockchain and combine with the data of the others, and then you can have a new value. So what we should do is do two-step, migrating the business activities to the blockchain and try to reveal the value about those data on the blockchain. That's it. So if we think about the first step, you know, you gotta have some kind of low-hanging fruits. That's about supply chain. Give an example. In 2018, we done the first case with H&M, you know, to providing a traceability solution for some of the products, and they just record the supply chain data in the different steps on the blockchain and show to the clients. Easy, right? And in 2019, we work with DNVGO to analyze those data collected, and DNVGO say, wait a moment, because they are collecting all of the data and it can be trusted, based on the data, I can give sustainability contributions to H&M to prove like they're really protecting the environment, they're really contributing the SDGs, and which is very important, which is generally the direct value to the business actually, because you know, there's a research to say for people born in millennium, like 1995 or 2000, they are willing to pay for the sustainabilities. So that means if your product with those kind of sustainability contributions, and you will attract more consumers, right? So I'm saying like when you have the data and you're doing the traceability, if you're like, okay, that's cool, telling the story to the clients, but then later on we can combine with other third-party services and becomes a new value and becomes even bigger value like that. So the same thing for automobile is when you're collecting the data for the different life cycle stage of the automobile, and you have the data there, and then insurance company can make the, you know, the different level of the package based on how many maintenance you have done for your car, how many car accidents, how many insurance claim before. So it kind of transform the data of the value on the blockchain to be an insurance, right? But you gotta have a first step. The first step is you gotta migrate or you gotta build the data on the blockchain. So that's, you know, like step for all. That's why I'm not really concerning like people consider Vechain is a supply chain platform. It's okay. It's the first step, and people will realize, oh, actually you can do much more.
Right. That's how, well, Ripple kind of is doing that. They've got the Spring initiative where they're working on, they're buying companies and setting up different use cases, and they're focusing on the payment use case through Ripple, and so similar thing. Now here's a good question for you. What tokens, if you had to, let's say, if you had to name 3 tokens, the top competitors to Vechain, are you willing to name 3? You're going to give me Ethereum first, right?
Well, Ethereum for sure. We respect Ethereum actually. We the whole Vechain idea based on one conversation I had with Vitalik like in 2015. So for sure Ethereum is one. Well, let's make it Ripple XRP because
I didn't realize that.
Well, I mean, we could be a good partner in the future, I would say, because we're focused on the different things. We're focused on business activities or like non-financial applications, while XRP is focused on, you know, platforms, payment platforms or payment solutions, which could be a good combinations.
Have you met any of the guys at Ripple yet?
Well, I have some friends like really connecting to them, but right now, you know, for my vision or mission is like focusing on building up the business environment or business ecosystem first. When time's right, I would say definitely we can connect to each other for sure.
Well, they are listening. I can tell you that. You got to give me one more. We got Ethereum, we got XRP. Who's the third? We got to have. What about Cardano? Is that one?
Well, honestly, I don't know too much about Cardano. I know they're like the market cap ladder is pretty high, like number 9, number 10 or something. But honestly, I don't really know how much about that. I know it's a smart contract platform, but I don't know about the use cases or adoption rates or whatever. So I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if I can make like numbers straight. Maybe something's not there yet.
Okay. Well, here's one that'll be easier for you.
All right.
Now, I think it was a week ago, Coinbase put out on their blog that they were considering the addition of several digital assets, and you were on the list. So here in the U.S. right now, I bought Vechain on Bitrue, but we don't have a lot more options besides that. So when Coinbase and when Uphold.
Honestly, I couldn't say anything. The only thing I can say, there is an NDA has been signed, so I cannot say anything.
Hey, that's breaking news right there. I like it. Okay. Now, you may not know this, but at the end of 2019, Ripple put out a, they call it Ripple Insights. It's like their blog or where they release articles. They said that they said that 2020 would be the year of the digital asset. Do you think 2020 is going to be the year of Vechain?
Well, I consider every year going to be a Vechain, or every year going to be a cryptocurrency. You know, that's a passion you got to keep. If you're doing this kind of job, or, you know, in this kind of the territory, you got to try your best to make it happen every year, whatever the result is. And next year, you got to just try harder. So to me, every year is that year. Your enthusiasm is going to, I'm going to stay a Vechain holder just because I've met you and because I like the vibe I'm getting. I totally feel that, because it means a lot when somebody has the passion. Okay, so do you own any other digital assets besides Vechain? Well, I own some like Bitcoins. I own some Ethereums for sure. That was like from the beginning. But now, yeah, most of my owning is Vechain for sure.
Okay. And so Vechain and Bitcoin, final answer?
Yeah.
Do you see Vechain in the top 10 of coin market cap this year?
Well, let's put it this way. That's my goal. That's my goal. I'm not gonna rest until I finish that. But I will also put one more line: is top 10 is not my final goal. I want to make it like even higher.
Oh, I like it. That's great. Yeah. Hey, I'm accumulating, so I hope you get there too. That would be great. Now, I'm going to ask a kind of a question, just because you're a high profile guy, you're traveling the world, you're changing the world like you told your daughter. And so I just wanted to make you a real person to everyone and let everybody know. And if you don't, then you don't have to say you do. But I complain on my channel all the time about some of the things that I have to do. And I'm hoping that when everything moons and everything goes off, that I can stop doing some of these things. Like my wife makes me unload the dishwasher, I have to take out the trash and these types of things. Now, so the question is, does a Sonny Lou, a guy that's traveling the world and changing everything, does he have to unload the dishwasher? Do you get in trouble for the same things I get in trouble for?
Well, I would say yes. I got to do that. You know, I got to respect the line. Happy wife, happy life. All right.
Right.
So, and honestly, that was joking. My wife really supports me like very well. But still, sometimes you gotta. I do enjoy to do some like family stuff. That's very important as well. It's kind of like a refreshing and changing your mindset from you know, the cruel business world, like a tough challenge, the deadline of the project, but like, you know, to spend some quality time with the family, especially with my daughter. I tell you the truth. Last night, sorry, the day before last night, you know, my daughter was struggling about writing some paperwork, like articles, and she was trying to telling a story about last week. but she was having a trouble for sure. She's like 8 years old. So I spend like 1 hour with her, and I do the same with her. I do the same homework with her together, and then we compare. I tell her like, okay, look, that's your dad has been writing. It's like this kind of structure. I try to tell that story. That's you're thinking, right? And then she was like, okay, that's really nice work. And eventually she polished her work, and she redo it like 4 times. I really appreciate her dedication on that. And eventually she got a praise from her teacher. Her teacher saying like, okay, out of like 50 homework from the whole class, she's kind of unique because she's telling something she learned from that. Like preparation is everything on the for the final show. It's like 1 second in the stage, you got to spend like 3 years on the backstage, that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed that. And then yesterday when I came back to home, my daughter was like, "Thank you, Daddy. My homework got praised." I was like, "Wow!" It's kind of like big achievement for me. So I do enjoy that.
Sounds like she's headed for Harvard or something like that, huh?
I hope so. Finger crossed.
One thing that has amazed, I do a lot of research on different people in the blockchain space, and there's a lot of Harvard graduates in this space. There's a lot of smart people around this, that's for sure.
Right.
Now, the final thing, you have got some news that you're going to break on my show tonight, so go for it.
Oh yeah, actually, it's I got a very quite exciting news yesterday. There is a project already being out there, like a product done by Vechain DMVGO. It's called MyCare. So it's kind of like a second digital products of DMVGO after my story. What MyCare is actually using certification methodology plus blockchain technology to certify public places. Right now, I don't know for US, but for most of the countries or most of the cities in China, everybody have a unique code, like individual health code. And you can show to everyone like, okay, I'm green. I don't have virus. I don't even have a close contact with virus, that kind of thing. It's based on the data collecting from your SIM card, the geographically location of your SIM card, or the checking data in the hospital, whatever, everything, and then become a green or yellow or red to show the status, right? So we're doing the MyCare actually is providing a green code status for public places, like a hotel, like a shopping mall, even like a cruise, to help those businesses are able to recover to the work, recover the trust or the guarantee for the users, to ease the concern of the consumers. Like, okay, my place is safe, just come to play or come to enjoy and having a life, that kind of way. So it's very nice. But the breaking news I wanted to drop is I'm very, very exciting because one of the biggest event in Shanghai or in China is we call CIIE. This year is the 3rd year. For CIIE. CIIE stands for China International Import Expo. So like different companies all over the world coming to Shanghai every year to show their products and looking for the global trades. For example, last year, even the President Macron and President Xi Jinping was there. They're having a stake secured by Vechain last year. I was like, so amazed.
Yeah, I saw that picture too.
Yeah. So CIIE is, one of the biggest thing. And considering about this year's critical situation of coronavirus, the hotel is very, sensitive topic right now. How are you going to guarantee people coming from all over the world are, securely put in the right place, or the whole procedure is make sure everybody is safe or virus clean, that kind of thing. So the biggest hotel from Intercontinental in Shanghai, Intercontinental Group, as a dedicated hotel for CIIE, already accept the service of MyCare. So that means Vechain's technology is going to guarantee the safety of the CIIE from that hotel. And we want to even to expand to more public places for that. So this is like I would say it's quite significant of the adoptions. Coronavirus fighting, government caring, and the policy of the public places safeties, and the blockchain use cases, like directly contributing to the value to people's safety. So I'm quite excited about that. I kind of expecting after that news has been break, I would say it could be like in a days or maybe 1 or 2 weeks, there will be more hotels line up and public places, shopping malls, line up for that. And actually, DMVGO not only doing this kind of a application in China, but also in Europe, even in US. They're working for proposing to some like the biggest. Well, I cannot say the name, but it's like chain restaurant. Let's say chain restaurant.
Yeah. Well, when all this is over and you come this way, I need to have a beer with you or something. You seem like just a genuine nice guy.
Thank you.
Hey, now listen, you can't. This isn't the last time you're coming on here. I've got your email address now. I'm gonna get you back on. And let me tell you seriously, I don't just blow smoke, man. You're a very genuine, nice guy, and that's one of the things that's been great about this space is that I meet people. There's a lot of people that aren't genuine and nice, but you've been very kind to me, and I
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure to talking to you. I wish I can come back very soon.
Yes, sir. And is there a website that the best website to go to for people to find out more about Vechain is?
Vechain.org.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Sonny, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. And I'll be in touch before I put this up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Sonny.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the Sonny Liu interview as much as I did. A couple of things I wanted to cover after the interview, that just some things I saw this morning. This article caught my attention. Private unicorn board now above 600 companies valued at $2 trillion. There's a lot of discussion going on right now about the IPOs. We've been talking about a Ripple IPO. There's been a lot of discussion about whether IPOs are going to ramp up after the whole current events of what's been going on. And for those of you that don't know what a unicorn is, I looked up the definition so that I could show you what it means. A unicorn is a privately held startup company valued at over $1 billion. The term was coined in 2013 by venture capitalist Aileen Lee, choosing the mythical animal to represent the statistical rarity of such ventures. According to Google, there were 465 unicorns as of April 2020. Well, this article has it at 600, now above 600. And Ripple being what I would call a gold-plated unicorn, because it was valued at $10 billion a few months ago. I just wanted to read for you this part down here, and I'll tie this in with something I saw on Twitter. The majority of this is the exit market. The majority of unicorn companies, 2/3 over the last 5 years, exit by IPO. These likely IPO market candidates make unicorn companies attractive to alternative investors who want stock at or before the IPO. The highest count of exits, 55, was in 2008 with 41 and 14 acquisitions. The total exit value over this 5-year and 5-month time period from January 2015 to January 2020 is $810 billion. Total exits for unicorn companies break into this. But anyway, I wanted to make the point that these unicorns are some of the greatest investment opportunities that there are. And I had seen the company that I found a little while back, linked to, and you can follow them on Twitter at Link, LINQTOINC. They had tweeted this out the other day. Link2 provides liquidity in the private sector, offering accredited investors access to affordable investment opportunities in the world's top unicorns. Download our app now, so you can go to the App Store and download it. But this is a big deal. They just started selling Uphold stock. They sell, or they're called SPVs. It's packaged shares of stock where you own everything except for the voting rights, is the way I understand it. But they're selling Ripple stock. They've sold out of the Ripple stock several times, and they keep I guess they have to go back to these companies and add more stock into the system. Coinbase, Robinhood, these are all going to be considered unicorns, folks. So, and this is their website if you hadn't checked it out, linqto.com. I have signed up for this, and I'm definitely planning on buying some of these myself. Also, I wanted to point out to you, Kitco had put this out about iTrustCapital. And remember, iTrustCapital is in the description of all of my videos. You can get a free month off with these guys. It's a way for you. Any of you out there that have lost your job, you can roll your 401k in part or in whole. And it's not just 401k; it's other type retirement vehicles that you have. You can roll it into an iTrustCapital IRA. And then once you do that, you will not incur the tax problems if you just took out the money when you got laid off from a job. But with all these layoffs going on, there's a lot of you out there who this solves a problem, because at iTrustCapital, you're able to invest in digital assets like XRP, Bitcoin. And now through this thing, that's what this article is about, through Kitco, which is a big name gold company. They created a they're working with iTrustCapital. I wanted to read you this part. As world governments print ever-growing amounts of money, millions of Americans seek ways to protect their wealth in a system stressing itself to the limits, the company said in a press release. Even though investors have billions of capital in gold ETFs like GLD, many others distrust these traditional financial offerings. They want the added security of knowing the gold exists and is tied to an account in their name. That's the difference here. This is something called Vechain. Vechain directly connects consumers and investors with precious metals. In other words, the gold that your investment represents is on the blockchain. So unlike these ETFs, it's yours. You don't, with the ETFs that they've been talking over the recent months about how with these ETFs, nobody knows if the gold even exists to represent the ETFs that you bought. And that's a scary thing. That's why the blockchain was needed. So anyway, that's iTrustCapital. Go in the description of all my videos. You can get a free month with those guys. Now, they haven't announced it today, but they're announcing it today. The Ledger Nano S people are about to announce some kind of it's either they haven't gotten specific with me, but it's either a contest or it's a discount, or it's both. So on these Ledger Nano S's. So there's a link in the description of all my videos where you can go and check that out as well. But it starts today, so you're going to want to go and check that out. They haven't told me exactly what it is, but I know it has something to do with different digital asset communities voting on the digital assets or something. There's going to be a leaderboard. So if XRP goes to the top or Vechain, you'll see it. You'll be able to check it on the leaderboard. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that things are getting interesting and that there's a Sonny Lou. Tell all your friends and family that I interviewed Sonny Lou in this video. You're going to love it. Thanks for listening. Hey, by the way, there is breaking news in the interview. You should know that. Thanks for listening.